my name is Viharaa Jayasinghe and this is the discussion of question set 18 of DBMS Day 3. We'll be using the same scenario of question set 16 and the Froward Engineering database of question set 17. So let's see our question set 18. And the first question is enter data into the table below to the class table. So in this case, I will be using an insert query. So that's the basic structure of our first insert query, and I will enter the required columns and values and the table name. So that's our first insert query. So now let's execute our query and see whether our table has changed. And as you can see, we have successfully inserted our first row of the class table. And let's refresh. And as you can see, we have inserted our second row as well. And let's see the second question. Enter the data into the table to the student table. So let's insert data to our student table. Once again, I will be using insert queries in order to enter data to my student table. So this is our first insert query for the student table. And as this is a foreign key, we will be using the ID of the class table. So thereby I will be using 1 to represent class name 11A and 2 in order to represent class B. So that's why I have used 1 instead of 11A. So let's execute our query and see whether our student table has received our data. So as you can see, we have inserted our data. Likewise, I will be inserting the rest of the data of the student table. And as you can see, we have inserted our data. Let's see the third question. Enter the data in the table below to the subject table. So let's see this. So let's insert our data to the subject table. Subject. So that would be our first query. Let's execute it and see. And as you can see, we have successfully inserted the first row of the subject table. Likewise, I have been inserting other rows as well. So these are the two last rows of the subject table. Let's execute them and see. And as you can see, we have inserted them as well. Let's see the fourth question. The data in the table below in the exam underscore term table. Insert and the 11 columns in grave accents once again. Exam underscore term. Exam underscore term and the and as you can see, I have only included two columns, term name and the exam date. As the ID column is, we have assigned the, we have set up the ID column as auto increment. And let's execute it as well. And as you can see, we have successfully inserted the second row as well. Let's see the fifth question. Enter the data in the table below into the table name student underscore exam underscore mark underscore record. So, and as you can see, there are only four columns, and which means we have only insert data of these columns and no need of inserting data of first name and last name columns. Table name, our columns, we need four columns. The name of our table is student underscore exam underscore mark underscore report. Um, if you want, you can include the name of database as well. So like exam dot exam underscore mark underscore db dot exam marks db dot the name of the table and the columns and values and the respective values. So let's insert our columns and values. So as I have said earlier, we don't have to include the date of first name and last name. We have to include date of index number and these columns. So for the mathematics, should be subject ID. These are the subject ID, which means 1, 2, 3. And if we consider about exam term ID, these are the two we are considering about in that case, which means 1 and 2 once again. 1 and 2. And if we consider about marks, it's normal. We can enter the 11 mark. And let's insert our data then. So for the subject ID, we will use mathematics first. Mathematics is 1. So I will type 1 here, and the next one is the first term. Maths first term. First term, which means 1 is represented using 1 and 50. So that would be our first query. And let's refresh our table. As you can see, we have successfully inserted our first row, which means this is a one row, and this is another row. Each mark is considered as a one row actually. So I will insert rest of them like I have inserted the first row. Let's refresh it, and as you can see, I have inserted there to the table. Forgotten to include these marks, so let's include them as well. So we will get to see those marks at the end of the table, however. So that would be the end of the discussion of question set 18 of DBMS Day 3. Thank you.